Just a quick disclaimer before we start the video. This was installed on an indoor version, but do not copy that. It's meant to be for the exhaust on the outside. Global warming is going to go up. The heat is going to go up this year, next year. This summer is going to be insane. Next year is also going to be worse. You're going to need an AC. I found one that is not only cost effective, but it looks good and it doesn't take up a bunch of space. It hooks on your window. Let's go and test this out. This is the ZAFRO inverter 10,000 BTU window AC unit. Let's take a look at it. So we're gonna start off with the unboxing experience. When you're unboxing it, you have everything you need. Everything's protected. You have all your accessories, all your foam adhesive panels and everything to get started for the window kit. Now it does use these foam blocks, support blocks, as well as window seals that are adhesive. All of them are. You can cut to your liking on any type of windows. Now this ranges from 24-inch all the way up to 48-inch windows, so if you have a bigger window, you might need more modifications. This does get up to a 16-inch height, so as long as your window opens up about 16 inches, then you're going to be set for this. Specs, this is 182 CFM. Now this is a highly energy efficient unit with a SEER 15.1 rating, able to give you not only the best possible low wattage in general. These are the measurements that go as follows: 29.53 inches in depth, 18.9 inches in width, and 15.35 inches in height. Left side, you do have your drain outlet, so you can go ahead and drain it with a drip pan or a hose. And these are to adjust it, tightening, and etc. to the panel on your windows itself. So we're gonna open this window. You wanna have two people when installing this, but since this one is like really low, it's actually a little bit easier to install. Also, you do wanna make sure that, there's enough clearance on the bottom. We're gonna add this block. You pretty much would have it on the actual seal itself, like right here with adhesive. I'm not going to use the adhesive yet because we're going to move this. It's not going to be in this spot. It's just for a demo. But we're going to place this right here, probably like a little off to the side. And that way we can rest this unit on there. Again, it would be way easier to have two people if you're going to install this on a little bit of a higher side. And you do want to have this slightly at an angle. I believe they say like 5 degrees or like something downward slope, so that way it prevents rain from sitting on top of this unit and it drips off if there was rain on this top panel. Those adjustment knobs, and then we also have the leveler here, so we can actually kind of measure this see if it's like straight in the middle. So let's lift this unit up a little bit. Again, it would be way easier with two people in order to help you adjust this. It's not super heavy, so you don't have to worry about that. For the most part, that looks good, but it looks pretty much good. There's a lot of fingerprints on it now. We do want to be obviously a little bit tilted down, just a little bit, nothing too dramatic. So yeah, we should be good in terms of that. And the outlet is on the left side, or the right side. From the back, it's on the left. From the front, it's on the right. So just to keep that in mind. Again, you would use this top sealing foam, which this is cuttable, and you're just gonna adhere it to the top edge of the panel itself. So if we were to close this, instead of this slamming onto the unit itself, protect it by putting some of this adhesive right here on the top. This not only also gets away from bugs being in the middle of it, but which these corner pieces also do have adhesive on it as well. So these are going to go in the corner. All right, so we went ahead and cut this to sizing. Now there's one adhesive strip and non-adhesive. I would recommend to put the adhesive side on this angled piece. That way you can go ahead and have a better seal on that side, but you could always add more adhesive on either end, so it doesn't really matter a whole lot. We're gonna go ahead and apply this now. So it goes like this and like that. And then just push it down as far as possible. It's not gonna go all the way flush, which I'll just make this side flush and the other side, it's fine. And just pretend this adhesive, was on the panel itself. You would just close it just like that. And there is a gap right here, so you could definitely use more of this white block in order to close it off. They give you two of them like I showed you. Or you just, fill it in with pretty much anything else that you have. We do have it plugged in, so we're gonna go to show you guys what it looks like when you turn it on. But the power button's on the right side, just turn it on here. Nice little green LED. I think that was a really nice touch when I seen this. So now the flap just went ahead and opened up. It's very quiet. Since the compressor's on the opposite side, you're not going to really hear much on the inside, which I think is really, really nice. So 240 watts is what it's pulling right now, and we could go all the way down to, let me get the remote actually. Here we are. Let's go and test out the remote. So this one also lights up green, which I think is really nice. I believe it goes all the way to 61. Yeah, 61 is the temperature there. So you have pretty much all the features that I showed you. You have power on and off. You have your temperature control. You have modes, so we can go ahead and switch the mode here. Looks like this is just a fan, and it shows you here the indicators on top. It's kind of like the Drio one, but a very small indicator, which I think is nice. And it's all green, so they're kind of on the green LEDs, which I think is a nice touch for, you know, all of their products. Even their logo here is green as well. If we go to the other mode, so it's AC, humidity, and you can drain out as much of humidity as possible. If you are going to use this, it's gonna you know, put out a lot more water. So I would recommend to, you know, have it set up for the humidity itself. And then we also obviously have fan and your cooling. You can also have fan speed buttons right here. So you can go ahead and 1, 2, 3, or auto. And yeah, it shows you all that information on the controller itself, everything that you can see pretty much on this display. Really, really quiet actually. So we're gonna keep it on 3 for now. Wait till the compressor turns on again. No, we don't. Okay, so we'll turn on the oscillation. There we go. So now it's on and shows you right there on the remote. And we also do have hold 3 seconds for mute for this sleep button. So you could hold this for 3 seconds. It'll count down on the remote. It'll go ahead and remove the sound whenever you have beeping, which for ACs, I don't really mind. So I'm going to keep it back on. We're going to hold it another 3 seconds. There you go. It's back on. You also have the light button, so you could turn that off completely. It has a nice little animation. That's really cool. But whenever you do, I guess it doesn't have it. Okay, whenever you turn it on, whenever you touch the display portions, it'll go ahead and turn on. After inactivity, it'll turn back off. There you go. It's after a few seconds, which is pretty cool. But you have that nice animation. I really like that. It's a nice touch. If you want to go ahead and lock the unit, press that button here, the illumination one, for 3 seconds. It'll go ahead and lock. So no matter what you do, oh, I don't think did I press it? Okay, it locked the remote, but not this, which is kind of weird. So let's go ahead and unlock that. I thought it was going to lock both of them, but it only did one. So that might be a downside on some people's end, which it's definitely a downside on my end. But you do have horizontal and vertical oscillations. So I believe there's vertical ones going in the inside that will go to oscillate from left to right. And this top oscillation is obviously that. Let me turn on this unit, the display. So let's go ahead and turn this one on and this one on. See if they both do it. So that's a really good touch to be able to kind of circulate the air really, really well. And I could actually hear it now. The compressor just turned on. We're drawing at about 120 watts. So it's actually really low on wattage as well, which I'm surprised by on the remote whatsoever. Oh, 3 seconds for extra right here. So you just hold that for 3 seconds and it'll do extra fan speed. Turbo mode, if you will. That's a nice touch. I didn't realize that. We measured everything from wattage, wind speed, decibel rating, as well as performance overall. We did a 1-hour test in our effect performance. Let's take a look at the actual wind speed mile per hour. So on sleep mode, we're getting 5.1 miles per hour. On speed 1, we're getting 5.8 miles per hour. So far it's, you know, decent. On speed 2, we're getting 7.1 miles per hour, and on speed 3, 8.3 miles per hour. This does also have a turbo mode. If you hold the fan button on either the remote or the touch display, you can hold it for 3 seconds. It'll switch to extra. This is getting 9.6 miles per hour. I did a rough estimate. I didn't check every single level for, you know, wattage, but as soon as we started up the unit, we were getting closer to 200, 250 watts of power. Our average was about 350, and after our 1-hour test was done and on max mode, we were getting a maximum ratage of 450 watts. So that's like the most that you could probably get out of this unit, which is what we're going to measure for when we're breaking down the cost for day, week, month, year. So let's go and show you guys those calculations. All right, so we're gonna do the full breakdown for the cost on, we're gonna show you both this versus a portable AC. So we're gonna take our number 450 divided by 1000 to get our kilowatts. And then from there, That's going to get us about, that's going to give us 0.45 kilowatts. Now we're going to multiply this number by an average of time. So in this case, 8 hours is my good average that I like to multiply it by. That's going to give us our new number, and this number is our new kilowatts. So this equals 3.6 kilowatt hours. Now we're just going to multiply this by 0.39 cents per kilowatt hour, and that's going to give us $1.40 every single day, or every 8 hours, $9.82 every week, $39.31 every month, and hypothetically, if you were to use this all year round, it would equal $471.74 per year. Now, just for comparison, this is a portable AC version at 1,100 watts. So you can see the comparison between the two. You're saving still a lot of money. But let's check out this compressor real quick. On the inside, we are getting 10 degrees Fahrenheit on that compressor. It's colder than that, but I can't really get too close, but it's pushing out really cold air. That's 11.5. It's nothing too crazy, but it, you know, under 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Not warm to the touch at all. Make sure I have Bluetooth turned on. I do. So we're gonna go ahead and hold this mode button for 3 seconds. Now it's in Wi-Fi pairing mode, and it should auto connect here in just a second. There we go. So now we have the Wi-Fi indicator turned on, and there we go, it popped up. And then it shows you a little tutorial. I'm gonna skip that because I'm gonna actually show you guys. So it says the ambient temperature is set to 78, but our target temperature is 61. You have a range here, so you can go ahead and have a 24-hour timer to be able to shut off, or you could schedule it. So we have schedules here. You can set it to a start time, end time. You can repeat it daily, once, weekends, custom. You can set it to a temperature, speed, and you could have it to oscillation, sleep, echo. You could set it to however you absolutely want. If we press the unit itself, we can actually show you a little bit more. 3 modes on top: cool, dry, and fan. So we're gonna go to dry real quick. Switches to dry. You also have fan here, and then obviously the other ones. And I showed you guys, you know, the temperature and all that. But you have side to side, up and down oscillation functions. You have sleep, which is press sleep actually. And I'm pretty sure it goes even quieter than mode 1, which just sounds like it. And it looks like it also, yep, it will turn off the display. It's really quiet. You also have the lock on here as well, which I don't know. There we go. So for some reason, only the app version locks it. Even it locks the screen as well on the phone, which is weird. And let me see if it's finger safe. Tesla finger safe. I guess, yeah, it doesn't close all the way, so you know, you don't have to worry about kids sticking their fingers in there. They might like mess up the oscillation, but it won't crush their fingers, so you don't have to worry about that. Device sharing, temperature unit from Celsius to Fahrenheit in here. You could do device usage. It'll tell you how long you've been using it in specific modes as well. You also have Wi-Fi info, module version. You could update it. You do Amazon and Alexa, or no, Alexa and Google Assistant apps here for voice control. You just click them, it'll automatically bring you to the page. It'll set it up as well. So overall, should you buy this unit? Number one, I was impressed not only from the decibel rating and how quiet this is, but also the performance and the wattage, especially the wattage, because you have the 15.1 SEER, which is just a higher energy efficient rating, probably one of the highest ones, better than portable ACs in my opinion. You're going to have a lower electricity bill if you switch to this. You just put it in your living room or some spot where you're mostly in the house that needs to be cold. Instead of using, you know, 1,000 to 1,200 watts on a portable AC, which is, you know, very similar, you're only going to spend about a third of that. So you could break that from a portable AC, which is already saving you money, as opposed to central AC. Central AC is 3,000 watts. A portable AC is 1,000 to 1,200 watts. And this unit is only under 500 watts, 450 to be exact. So if you want to cut your electricity bill like crazy, but still keep your house, living room area cold, this is the best way to actually save money. It starts around $400. It's going to pay for itself within the first 2 months easily. And because of the high quality materials and everything else like that, it's going to last you multiple years to come. Without further ado, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. We out.